Welcome to Heartbreaker, your love radio.
In the quiet Californian suburbs, the kitchen of Adam and Anna exuded the comforting aromas of a homemade meal. It was Wednesday, the day the couple always shared dinner, a weekly ritual that had served as a small refuge from the daily grind. However, that night, as the shadows of the evening began to deepen beyond the windows, something felt different. Sitting at the table under the warm glow of candles, Adam tried to capture Anna's attention with his usual enthusiasm. "This sauce is amazing, as always. Did you put something different in it today?" he asked, trying to decipher her expression while offering an encouraging smile. "Oh, it's the same as always. Maybe a bit more basil," Anna replied, her voice distant, as her fork played more with the food than actually bringing it to her mouth. Adam, noticing the unusual gloom, followed up with another attempt at conversation. "And how was your day? Any interesting projects at the office?" He watched her every move, every glance away, as the candlelight cast dancing patterns of light and shadow across her face. "Ah, the usual." "Nothing new," she said almost automatically, averting her gaze to some lost point beyond the window. There was no enthusiasm in her voice, none of the vivid details she used to share about her day. Adam felt a pang of worry. "You seem a bit tired. Is everything really okay?" he asked, his voice filled with genuine concern that intensified with each monosyllabic response from her. "I'm just tired, Adam." "It's really nothing," Anna replied quickly, her eyes finally meeting his, but only for a fleeting moment before darting away again. As dinner continued, what was supposed to be a comforting casual conversation turned into a series of tense and loaded dialogues. Adam struggled to keep things light while Anna retreated into short, evasive responses. The sound of silverware against plates seemed overly loud in the growing silence. Adam's worry turned into suspicion. Every forced laugh from Anna, every evasive glance, every hesitation in her responses seemed to signal that something was deeply wrong. What had changed so abruptly? Adam couldn't help but wonder if the problem was something at her work, or something between them. By the end of the evening, as Anna hurried to clear the table and retired early under the pretense of being tired, Adam remained seated, deep in thought. The distance he felt growing between them now seemed more palpable, more painful. Something was happening, and he felt he needed to find out what it was before it was too late. It was a typical Saturday afternoon at the Carpenter household, with the sun flooding the laundry room through an open window. The scent of fabric softener hung in the air as Adam busied himself with the weekly laundry routine. While transferring the dirty clothes to the machine, Adam's hand encountered an unexpectedly soft and delicate fabric. Pulling it out of the basket, he found himself holding a piece of fine and elegant lingerie, clearly not belonging to his own wardrobe and, as far as he knew, not to Anna's either. Adam's heart raced as he examined the fabric between his fingers, confusion quickly giving way to a whirlwind of emotions. How did this get here? Adam wondered, a knot forming in his stomach. Should I recognize this? And why didn't Anna show it to me? Adam set the lingerie aside, deciding to finish the task he had started first. However, his mind was far from focused on what he was doing. He replayed the events of the past few days, even weeks, trying to find some sign he had overlooked, some clue that could explain the presence of that strange item in his home. The memory of the Wednesday night dinner resurfaced, Anna's evasive behavior, her automatic responses, and lack of usual enthusiasm. All of this, combined with the discovery of the lingerie, painted an unsettling picture. Should I confront her? What if there's a perfectly reasonable explanation? Adam debated internally, struggling against the urge to jump to conclusions. But what if there isn't? What if there's something more going on here? The piece of lingerie, now resting on the folding table, seemed like a tangible symbol of the suspicions that now consumed Adam's thoughts. He knew he needed answers, but the fear of what those answers might reveal kept him from acting immediately. Deciding to give himself time to think about how to approach the subject with Anna, Adam finished loading the washer. The monotonous sound of the wash cycle now seemed to echo his own unease. As the machine whirred, he made a silent decision. He would observe Anna closely before confronting her. Knowing more was essential before opening a box that, once opened, could change everything between them. In the silent darkness of a Tuesday night, the carpenter's garage was bathed only by the faint light of a single ceiling lamp. Adam stood beside Anna's car, a small box in his hands, a GPS tracker he never imagined he would buy one day. The cold air in the garage seemed to condense the tension and the weight of the decision he was about to make. Adam opened the car door, his heart pounding harder with each movement. He knew where to install the device, a discreet spot where it wouldn't be easily found. As he crouched to place the tracker, his mind was flooded with a torrent of thoughts and emotions. Am I really doing this? The question echoed in his head as he connected the device. Is this what our relationship has become? Spying and distrust? The tracker in his hands was small and metallic, cold to the touch, a tangible reminder of the abyss he felt opening between him and Anna. The decision to monitor Anna's movements hadn't come easily. Since discovering the lingerie, Adam had observed his wife with a growing mix of suspicion and sadness. He noticed unexplained outings, muffled phone calls, and an increasing distance. Each little sign amplified his unease, fueling the need to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. But what about the trust we had? Adam reflected, battling the guilt tightening in his chest. Am I justified in doing this, or am I crossing a line I shouldn't? The installation of the tracker was simple, but each click of the device felt like the pounding of a hammer on his conscience. With the tracker now active and hidden, Adam softly closed the car door, as if fearing that a sudden movement could shatter the last remnant of normalcy in his marriage. He stepped back, looking at the vehicle that now concealed his secret. The night advanced as Adam left the garage, the faint light casting long shadows over his worried face. He knew that from now on, every beep of his phone could bring a revelation he both feared and desired. The decision was made, the path chosen. Now, all that remained was to wait and see where the tracker signals would lead him, knowing that the truth could be both a liberation and a sentence.
Adam sat in his office, his eyes fixed on the computer screen where the digital map displayed a small moving dot. It was Wednesday, a day that now carried a much different weight than usual. Since installing the tracker in Anna's car, each moment of waiting tortured Adam with the anxiety of what he might discover. The clock showed it was just afternoon. Anna had said she would be having lunch with a friend, something common in her previous routines. However, the route on the map did not show the usual path to the cafe where she typically met her friends. Instead, the dot moved toward a part of the city with which Adam was not familiar, but he quickly recognized when he zoomed in on the map, a hotel known for its discretion and exclusivity. Am I overinterpreting things? Adam questioned himself, trying to find some innocent reason for the visit. But the closer the dot got to the destination, the more his hopes faded. When it stopped in the hotel parking lot, Adam's heart sank. Now, he faced the reality of the suspicions he had tried to ignore. Anna was at a hotel in the middle of a Wednesday afternoon, and nothing about that scene suggested a simple or innocent explanation. Adam felt a mixture of anger and sadness. How did this happen to us? What did I miss? As he watched the static dot on the map, his mind began to work frantically, trying to piece together the puzzle of recent emotional distances, subtle lies, and unexplained afternoons. The decision to confront Anna became inevitable. He knew he couldn't continue pretending that his marital life wasn't falling apart. Adam began to plan how to confront Anna with the evidence of her betrayal. The following Wednesday, Adam remained in his office, watching the screen until the dot started moving again. This time he knew he would follow Anna's car. He needed to see with his own eyes, to face the reality that the GPS was showing him. It was a decision that could change everything, but he was beyond the point of no return. When Anna's car left the driveway and drove 2 blocks away, Adam was already behind the wheel of his own car, his heart pounding in a rhythm that echoed his inner conflict and the crumbling state of a marriage that might already be irreparably fractured. As he followed the GPS path, the pieces of the puzzle began to form an image he feared to see complete but could no longer ignore. When Adam arrived at the hotel, his heart was heavy and his hands trembling. After a moment of hesitation, he got out and entered the hotel lobby. Initially, he couldn't determine Anna's room number and started chatting with the receptionist to gain her trust. He said he needed to deliver a piece of clothing to his wife who had just arrived. Opening the door silently, the scene that unfolded before his eyes was the realization of all his worst fears. Anna, the woman with whom he had shared years of his life, was in the bathtub, not alone, but accompanied by an unknown man. The surprise and barely concealed panic on their faces only added to the weight of the betrayal. "Anna, what is happening here?" Adam's voice trembled as much as his hands, with anger and sadness intertwined in every word. Anna, completely caught off guard, struggled to formulate a response, her expression a mixture of fear and remorse. "Adam. This isn't," she tried to speak, but the words seemed to escape her. The man, realizing the gravity of the situation, tried to cover himself with a towel, seeking some dignity amidst the chaos. "Who are you? How could you do this to me, Anna?" "To us," Adam continued, pointing accusingly at the man, the pain palpable in his voice as he tried to understand how his life had reached this breaking point. The lover tried to intervene, a futile attempt to calm the situation. "Look, I think." But Adam wasn't interested in hearing any justification from that stranger. "I'm not talking to you," Adam interrupted, his voice raised, a mirror of his broken heart. "Anna, I deserve the truth. All this time, lies," he confronted Anna, each word a blow to what was left of their marriage. Anna, now visibly shaken, tried to speak through sobs. "Adam, please let me explain. It's not what it seems," but the words sounded empty, insufficient to cover the magnitude of what was happening. The argument quickly escalated, accusations and memories of a happier past clashing with the harsh reality of the present. The air was thick with pain and disillusionment as Adam and Anna tried to navigate through the ruins of their relationship. The confrontation in the hotel was more than just an explosion of truths, it was the shattering of a life Adam thought he knew. As he left the room, the sound of his footsteps in the corridor echoed like the slow beat of a wounded heart. The certainty that nothing between him and Anna would ever be the same was painfully clear. In that cold hotel corridor, the sound of Adam's footsteps echoed like the beat of his heart as he walked away from the room where he had found Anna and her lover. The pain he felt was almost physical, an open wound that he didn't know how to heal. But instead of leaving, the anger bubbling inside him made him turn back, driven by a desperate need for answers, or maybe just the desire to confront Anna even more. He knocked on the door again, forcefully, his patience exhausted, his pain transformed into fury. Anna opened the door, her face still streaked with tears, the surprise and fear evident in her eyes as she saw Adam return. "How could you do this to me, Anna? After everything we've been through, how?" Adam was shouting now, no longer holding back, each word loaded with betrayal and desperation. Anna tried to speak, tried to explain, but her words were quickly drowned out by Adam's yelling. "You have no excuse. How could you be so selfish?" Adam's tone was sharp, cutting, and it didn't take long for tempers to flare even more. The shouting attracted the attention of other guests and, inevitably, the hotel staff. The corridor began to fill with curious looks and whispers. Amid the chaos, the man who had been with Anna tried to intervene, trying to calm the situation, but his words only fueled Adam's anger further. "Stay out of this. This is none of your business." Adam shoved the man, his hand acting before he could think about the consequences. The tension escalated quickly, and it was at that moment that a hotel security guard arrived, alerted by the noise and the growing crowd in the corridor. "Sir, you need to calm down or I will have to ask you to leave the hotel," the security guard said, his voice firm and authoritative, trying to impose some control over the situation. Adam, breathing heavily, looked around, realizing the scene he had created. The reality of his actions and the consequences of his shouting and shoving began to set in. He was causing a public scene, something he never thought he would do. I'm sorry, but this traitor ruined my life," he shouted, finally calming down under the reproachful gaze of the security guard and the other guests. The security guard kept a firm hand on his shoulder, guiding him gently but firmly away from the door of the room. "It's best if you go home and calm down, sir. We can't allow any more disturbances here," the security guard said, while Adam, defeated and shaken, allowed himself to be led out of the hotel. As he left the building and felt the cool night air, Adam realized how far his anger had taken him. The night still lingered in its darkness when the news began to spread. In the parking lot of a discreet hotel, a sinister discovery was made: the lifeless body of a man lying beside his car. The scene was quickly cordoned off by the police, who began their investigation under the faint glow of the first morning lights. Adam was awakened by insistent knocking on his door. Still dazed from the emotional turmoil of the night, he opened the door to find two police officers with serious expressions. "Mr. Carpenter?" one of them asked, confirming his identity before continuing. "We need to ask you some questions about your whereabouts tonight." Adam, still trying to absorb the shock of the police presence at his door, just nodded and let them in. "You were at the Grandview Hotel tonight, correct?" the detective began, while his partner observed silently. "Yes, I was there," Adam replied, his voice trembling. I found out my wife." "We understand the situation with your wife, sir," the other officer interrupted, a bit more gently. "What we need to know is if you saw anything unusual or if you had any altercations with anyone." Before Adam could respond, his phone rang. It was Anna, her voice filled with a mix of fear and accusation. "Adam, have you heard what happened?" "They found him dead, Adam." "Dead? You wouldn't have." "Anna, I didn't do anything," Adam quickly responded, panic rising as the implication of Anna's words became clear. "I came home after our argument." The officers watched the exchange, their expressions unreadable. "We'll need you to come with us to clarify some things," one of them said after Adam hung up the phone. On the way to the police station, Adam was lost in his own thoughts, replaying every second of the night in his mind, searching for something he might have missed, some clue that explained what happened after he left the hotel. At the station, as the police questioned him, Anna arrived, visibly shaken but with a spark of anger in her eyes. "How could you?" she whispered as she passed Adam, her distrust evident. "Anna, I had nothing to do with this," Adam tried to explain, but the words felt hollow even to him. The interrogation continued, with the police asking about every detail of the night. Adam recounted the confrontation in the hotel room, trying to make it clear that despite his anger, he would never harm anyone. At the end of the interrogation, Adam was released, but the shadow of suspicion and the pain of betrayal remained. As he left the police station, the weight of the circumstances pressed down on his shoulders like never before. The death of Anna's lover had added a new and dark chapter to his night. In the days following the shocking revelation and the tragic outcome at the hotel, Adam and Anna's home became a silent and cold battleground. Mornings were marked by the sound of cups being set down harder than necessary, and the nights were enveloped in tense silence, only interrupted by cutting whispers and glances overflowing with resentment. On one particularly gray afternoon, Adam and Anna found themselves in the living room, each standing in a corner, as if the space between them could somehow soften the harsh words being exchanged. "So, that's it? You're just going to leave?" Anna broke the silence, her voice laden with disdain. "After everything, this is how you decide to end things?" Adam, arms crossed, responded coldly, "What did you expect? That I would just forget everything and pretend nothing happened? You cheated on me with another man." Adam's voice rose, his frustration palpable with every word. "And does that justify what you did? Invading my privacy, exposing me like that?" Anna retorted, the accusation clear in her tone. "You never trusted me, Adam. Maybe you never did." The argument quickly intensified, with each accusation bringing up resentments from that night. The conversation, if it could be called that, was a tumult of harsh words and bitter memories. "I trusted you more than anyone else in this world," Adam said, his voice breaking with pain. "But after finding that lingerie, seeing you in that room, how did you expect me to react? You could have talked to me. We could have worked through this together," Anna shouted, tears beginning to form in her eyes. "But you chose the worst possible way." The argument reached its peak, and with it, the painful realization that there was no turning back. The divorce process, initiated amidst exchanges of accusations and cold legal consultations, was just a formality in the face of the emotional collapse they both faced. "I'm leaving, Anna. There's nothing left for us here," Adam finally said, the resolve clear in his voice as he picked up his suitcase. Anna, staring at the floor, replied in a trembling voice, "Yes, go." Maybe it's for the best. Adam walked out the door, each step echoing in the empty hallway, marking the end of a marriage that they had both thought would last a lifetime. Anna remained alone, the silence of the house amplifying the emptiness left by Adam's departure. The future was now a blank page, as intimidating as it was uncertain. In a modest apartment on the outskirts of the city, Adam found himself sitting, surrounded by unpacked boxes. The space was smaller than the house he had shared with Anna, but for him, every corner of this new home symbolized a step towards a new phase of his life. The walls, still bare, echoed the silence of a solitary beginning. As he contemplated the books he still needed to organize, the sound of a message arriving on his phone broke the silence. It was an update from the police department about the investigation into the death of Anna's lover. Adam hesitated before opening the message, the weight of the past still a heavy burden on his shoulders. The message revealed that the death had been the tragic result of a botched robbery, an unfortunate coincidence that placed someone in the wrong place at the wrong time. There were no conspiracies, no hidden motives, just a tragic accident. Reading those words, Adam felt a mix of relief and sadness. Relief, knowing that there were no longer any shadows of suspicion hanging over him. Sadness, for the futility of the suffering and losses that had followed. With the truth finally clear, Adam allowed himself a moment of reflection. The phone slipped from his hands and landed softly beside the couch. All this for nothing, he murmured to himself. The weeks following the discovery of the affair had been a storm of emotions, and now, with the truth revealed, he wondered about the countless what-ifs that had marked his relationship with Anna. Life, it just goes on, doesn't it? He spoke aloud, as if by verbalizing his thoughts, he could organize them better. And I must go on too. Standing up, he walked to the window, gazing at the city outside, each light a reminder of the possibilities that were still to come.